What if the single biggest threat to your honeybee colony's survival, one that kills far more hives every winter than any predator or pesticide, could be solved with a discarded foam cooler? And 20 minutes of your time, that is exactly the promise behind this genuinely simple beekeeping hack. And once you understand the hidden danger it addresses, you will wonder why more beginner beekeepers do not know about it before losing their first hive to something entirely preventable. The hack itself centers on tackling condensation and moisture buildup inside the hive, widely recognized among experienced beekeepers as a far more common cause of winter colony death than cold temperatures alone. Bees actually tolerate genuinely frigid outdoor temperatures remarkably well, clustering together and generating warmth through collective body heat and controlled wing movement throughout even the harshest winter months. What kills colonies far more often is warm, moist air rising from the cluster, hitting a cold inner cover or hive lid, condensing into water droplets, and then dripping directly back down onto the cluster below, chilling bees with cold moisture in a way dry cold air never would. The revolutionary hack addresses this problem, involves repurposing an ordinary rigid foam cooler, the kind used for camping or transporting groceries, cut and fitted into a simple insulating quilt box, positioned above your hive's inner cover, absorbing and wicking away excess moistures, while simultaneously providing a meaningful layer of insulation that dramatically reduces the temperature differential responsible for condensation forming in the first place. Building this hack starts with sourcing a discarded, rigid foam cooler, exactly the kind frequently thrown away after a single use, following a grocery delivery or a weekend camping trip, then cutting the foam to match your specific hive box's outer dimensions. Cut a simple rectangular frame from the foam, essentially a shallow box shape open on the bottom, then fill this frame with a moisture-absorbing material like wood shavings, dry sawdust, or even a folded layer of natural burlap, creating what beekeepers call a quilt box, specifically because its function closely resembles a quilt's insulating, moisture-wicking properties. Position this foam quilt box directly above your hive's inner cover, beneath your outer telescoping cover, allowing rising warm, moist air from the cluster below to pass through a small opening or mesh screen in the inner cover, then absorb into the wood shavings or burlap material, rather than condensing directly on a cold surface and dripping back down onto your bees. Because this hack directly addresses hive moisture management, understanding proper hive care more broadly helps you get the most benefit from this specific improvement. Regular hive inspections throughout the active season, checking for adequate ventilation, monitoring for pest issues, and confirming your queen remains healthy and actively laying, all work together with this moisture management hack to support genuinely resilient colony health, rather than relying on any single intervention alone. Most experienced beekeepers recommend inspecting hives every 1 to 2 weeks during the height of the growing season, tapering to less frequent checks during cooler months when opening the hive itself introduces unwanted temperature loss and colony stress. Light and temperature considerations for hive placement matter significantly for overall colony health and directly interact with how effectively your moisture management hack performs. Position your hive where it receives morning sun, which encourages bees to begin foraging earlier in the day, while ideally providing some afternoon shade during the hottest summer months to prevent excessive heat buildup inside the hive box itself. A slight forward tilt, with the hive's entrance angled very slightly downward, helps any moisture that does form drain naturally away from the colony, rather than pooling at the entrance, complementing your quilt box's moisture absorption from above. With basic, gravity-assisted drainage at the hive's base, temperature tolerance varies by region and bee genetics, but most managed honeybee colonies across the United States successfully overwinter with adequate food stores and proper moisture management, even in regions experiencing sustained temperatures well below freezing, provided the specific condensation problem this hack addresses has been properly managed. There is substantial scientific research behind why moisture management specifically deserves this level of beekeeper attention. apicultural research into winter colony losses, has consistently identified excess hive moisture as a primary contributing factor in overwintering mortality, with studies specifically measuring internal hive humidity finding that colonies experiencing chronic condensation and dripping moisture show significantly higher winter die-off rates compared to colonies maintained in properly ventilated, moisture-managed hives, even when comparing colonies exposed to genuinely similar outdoor temperature conditions. Research into hive insulation and thermal regulation has additionally confirmed that honeybee clusters expend considerable metabolic energy maintaining cluster temperature, and colonies forced to also cope with cold, wet conditions from dripping condensation burn through their stored food reserves considerably faster than colonies in a properly insulated, moisture-managed environment. Directly connecting this specific hack to improved food reserve efficiency and, ultimately, meaningfully improved overwinter survival rates, the broader effect of beekeeping on human health and well-beings extends well beyond the practical value of honey and pollination services. Though those benefits certainly matter too, occupational and recreational therapy research, examining beekeeping specifically as a therapeutic activity, has documented that the slow, deliberate, focused attention hive inspections require engages a particular kind of sustained mindfulness closely related to other absorbing craft and gardening activities, discussed throughout broader wellness research, with several documented programs specifically using supervised beekeeping as a therapeutic intervention for veterans and individuals managing anxiety or PTSD. Citing the activity's unique combination of required calm, focused presence and genuine responsibility for another living system's well-being. Nutritional and dermatological research into raw honey and other hive products has separately documented various beneficial compounds, including antimicrobial properties associated with certain honey varieties, and skin-soothing qualities attributed to beeswax-based products, adding a tangible, usable output to beekeeping's broader wellness appeal. Beyond the mindfulness benefits of the practice itself, providing a reliable water source near your hive deserves the same careful attention beekeepers give to food stores and moisture management, since bees require consistent access to water for both their own hydration and for regulating hive temperature and humidity through evaporative cooling during hot weather. Position a shallow water source, a simple dish filled with pebbles or marbles, to give bees safe landing spots without risk of drowning. Within a reasonable flying distance of your hive, refreshing this water regularly to prevent stagnation and reduce mosquito breeding. Bees will travel a considerable distance to find water, if none is conveniently available near their hive. But providing a close, reliable source reduces the energy colonies expend on water foraging trips, energy that can, instead, go toward nectar collection, brood rearing, and general colony productivity during the active growing season. Feeding your colony appropriately, particularly during nectar dearths or as a new colony establishes itself, functions similarly to fertilizing in traditional gardening, providing supplemental nutrition precisely when natural resources fall short of what the colony needs to thrive. A simple sugar syrup feeder, whether an inverted mason jar with small holes punched in the lid, or a purpose-built frame feeder, provides readily available carbohydrate energy during early spring buildup or late season preparation for winter, while a pollen substitute patty can supplement protein nutrition during periods when natural pollen sources run scarce. Avoid overfeeding during periods of strong natural nectar flow, since excessive supplemental feeding during these times can actually crowd out space the queen needs for egg laying, similar to how over-fertilizing a garden plant can push excessive vegetative growth at the expense of a more balanced, productive result. Hive maintenance tasks functioning similarly to pruning include regularly removing and replacing old, dark comb, since comb naturally accumulates residue and pesticide buildup over successive brood cycles, and replacing roughly a third of your brood comb every few years maintains a genuinely healthier colony environment, much like pruning removes aging plant material to encourage fresh, vigorous new growth. Swarm management, including regular inspection for queen cells during peak spring buildup, and proactively splitting an overcrowded, strong colony before it swarms naturally on its own timeline. Similarly parallels the kind of proactive, seasonal maintenance gardeners perform to keep a thriving plant appropriately managed rather than allowed to grow, unchecked into an eventually unmanageable state. Even a well-managed hive equipped with this moisture-reducing quilt box hack runs into predictable challenges. Though nearly all of them have straightforward, beginner-friendly solutions. If you notice your quilt box material becoming consistently saturated despite regular replacement, check that your hive's lower ventilation, typically a screened bottom board or small upper entrance notch, remains genuinely unobstructed, since adequate airflow through the hive works together with your quilt box, rather than replacing the need for basic ventilation entirely. Pest issues, particularly varroa mites, remain a persistent beekeeping challenge, regardless of how well you manage moisture, requiring separate, dedicated monitoring and treatment protocols, following current Regional Beekeeping Association guidance rather than assuming moisture management alone addresses every potential colony health threat. Robbing behavior, where bees from other colonies attempt to steal stored honey from a weaker hive, typically increases during nectar dearths, and can be reduced by minimizing how long you leave a hive open during inspections, and by using an entrance reducer to help guard bees more effectively, defend a smaller, more manageable entrance point. And if a colony still struggles despite implementing this moisture management hack and other sound care practices, remember that some colony losses stem from factors beyond any single beekeeper's control, including queen genetics, regional disease pressure, and simple bad luck during a particularly harsh season, meaning consistent, careful management improves your odds considerably without guaranteeing every single colony's survival. Every single year, planting a thoughtful selection of flowering plants near your hive rounds out this beekeeping hack into a genuinely complete system, since the same colony, benefiting from improved winter survival, also depends heavily on nearby forage availability throughout the growing season. Late-blooming plants like goldenrod, aster, and sedum extend your local nectar flow well into fall, directly supporting the exact food store buildup your colony needs heading into the winter months. Your moisture hack is specifically designed to help them survive. Early spring bloomers like crocus, willow, and flowering fruit trees provide critical, early-season forage right as colonies emerge from winter dormancy and begin the demanding work of rebuilding population after the cold months, a period when natural forage often remains genuinely scarce, despite bees being fully active and hungry. Positioning these specific bloom time plantings within easy flying distance of your hive, generally anywhere within a mile or so, though closer obviously reduces foraging energy expenditure, creates a genuinely supportive forage landscape working hand in hand with your improved hive management practices. Understanding a bit more about why foam specifically works so well for this particular hack helps clarify why this material outperforms simpler alternatives some beginners might otherwise reach for. Rigid foam coolers are specifically engineered with a closed cell structure that provides considerably better insulating value per inch of thickness compared to many other readily available materials, including plain cardboard or thin wood, meaning a foam quilt box achieves meaningful thermal benefit even when built from a relatively thin, single layer of repurposed cooler material. This closed cell structure also resists absorbing moisture itself, meaning the foam frame maintains its insulating properties even in a genuinely humid hive environment, while the moisture-absorbing material you pack inside that frame, whether wood shavings or burlap, handles the actual job of pulling humid air away from your bees and holding that moisture until you periodically check and replace the material as needed throughout the winter season. Timing your quilt box installation correctly maximizes this hack's effectiveness across a full seasonal cycle. Install your foam quilt box in early fall, before consistently cold nights begin, giving you time to confirm proper fit and function before winter's harshest conditions actually arrive, and while you can still comfortably work with your hive during milder weather. Check your quilt box's moisture-absorbing material periodically throughout winter on any reasonably mild day when brief hive access will not unduly stress your cluster, replacing genuinely saturated material with fresh, dry shavings or burlap as needed. Remove the quilt box entirely once consistent warm spring weather returns, and your colony's own ventilation needs shift toward managing heat rather than retaining it, storing the foam frame itself for reuse the following autumn rather than discarding a component that, properly cared for, can serve your hive reliably for many winters to come. The social and community dimension of beekeeping, and of sharing genuinely useful hacks like this one specifically, carries its own well-documented value within the broader beekeeping community. Agricultural extension and community beekeeping research has specifically noted that local beekeeping associations and mentor networks play an outsized role in new beekeeper success rates, since practical, field-tested tips like this moisture management hack typically spread most effectively through direct community knowledge sharing, rather than isolated individual research, meaning joining a local beekeeping club or online regional beekeeping community genuinely accelerates a beginner's learning curve well beyond what any single article or video, however thorough, can accomplish alone. Many beekeepers specifically describe this kind of practical, low-cost problem-solving, transforming a discarded cooler into a genuinely life-saving piece of hive equipment as one of the most satisfying aspects of the hobby itself, echoing the same resourceful, upcycling-driven, creative satisfactions discussed throughout other projects in this content series, now applied to the considerably higher stakes context of an entire living colony's winter survival, rather than a purely ornamental garden feature. Vegetables, gardening tips, and nature care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nature Nurture Hub, your home for year-round garden inspiration. Let's keep growing together.